Now, what they're going to do is, and this is what you are going to do to each other in a minute, but Ricky is going to read out his summary of his character, who is here. Harry can hold it up. Do you want to show it around to everybody? Okay. So, Ricky, can you read it out, please?
He's named Rolf Harrison. He looks like Rolf Harris, and he's part disabled. He's smoking, he's dying of lung cancer. He smells of wheat.
Nice.
All his family is dead, and he's having a mental breakdown because of all the factors.
So it's a nice comedy that you're going to be writing then. I like it. Was Rolf Harrison named after anybody famous?
Rolf Harris.
Okay, and is he a fan?
No.
What colour are his eyes?
Blue.
What's his favourite colour?
Red.
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 Red. Okay, what's his favourite food?
Bread.
Ready meal.
Ready meal. Okay. What's his favourite time of day?
Morning.
What did he get for his birthday last year?
A pet to keep him company.
What's his pet's name?
Rolf.
Named everything after himself and Rolf Harris. Where's he going on holiday this year?
I don't think he'll make it to his holiday.
Why? Oh, because he's dying of lung cancer. Okay. When is he going to die?
He's got a few weeks left.
Okay. And is he going to die in hospital or at home? Is he's going to have an accident?
Don't know.
You do know?
It could happen anywhere.
It could happen anywhere. But where is it going to happen?
On his way to work.
Okay. Right, thank you very much, Vicky, for that. Yeah, well done. Their character to the rest of the table. When they finish presenting the summary, you have to ask that person loads of questions, and they just have to answer just like that. Okay? So has this table got a volunteer?
No. Is she disposable?
No. Okay.
Shit.
Okay.
Where do you live?
What's the last time?
52 Brooklyn Lane. Where does she buy clothes?
I think she just found it really bad, but I think secretly she knew all along.
Yeah, why?
She bullied.
That's a very good question.
No.
Why is there
She bullied.
a bottle of pee?
She bullied? Yeah.
Why is she in the corner on her own?
Because none of them like her, because she's a bully. But then when it comes to it, that's why she's smiling, because she knows.
Don't you think she was a bit lonely?
No, because see the other one on the other side.
Good.
They're both bullied. They just bully each other.
Why is he sitting in the basement?
That might not.
Is that a gas cylinder?
Yeah, why is it
Yeah,
not gas cylinder?
he wants to work himself because he's done his job.
So he's going to light himself a light in a gas basement.
Breathing on gas.
Right. So it'd be going back to concentration camp.
Yeah, he wants to die.
So he's going to let Hitler win.
Hitler's dead.
Yeah,
But he's still going to let Hitler win.
No silly comments like
She got drunk and fell downstairs.
Was she sick?
Yes, everywhere. And so does she regret that happening? She regrets that part, but not having a good time.
Right, okay. Will she do that again then?
Maybe not to the extreme.
Right. So do you think she learnt her lesson from what happened before?
Definitely.
Well, what do her friends think about that sort of behaviour?
They all joke.
Yeah, silly little. What's funny is that?
Going to kill each other.
Queen Mary?
Queen Mary College.
Right, one more last question.
One last question from anyone?
Yeah.
That's a very calm.
Oh, smashing. Brilliant. So what do we want to ask about Suzanne then?
Is she in a relationship?
Yes.
Is she married?
Yes.
Does she have any children?
One.
What's his name?
John Smith.
How old is he?
5.
School has he gone to?
Stanford-le-H primary school.
He lives in North London.
He takes the train.
Well done.
He's 5.
She gets something with him.
What does she work as?
Care worker.
Where?
at home. Child wonder.
What age?
30 to 40 years old.
So whose is this one? Ah, right, so Brad, you got the chopper. Okay, so you asking, have I just butted in at the wrong moment?
Yeah, we haven't actually got a proper question.
Oh, okay.
So these pictures from movies.
No.
So, Brad,
They're from all over the
I swear
place.
that one, that picture's got is.
That one is.
How old is she again? How is she youngest or oldest?
But he's what?
6. Does she live with her mum and dad?
Is he going to have a picture of you?
Where does she live?
Stanford. He's going to have
What does she live in?
A house.
Yeah.
Well, hang on, have you seen
No.
a heart made out of cowpeas?
How about does she have clean water supply?
Is he going to get
She ever had a bath? Does she move out of India?
Okay, where are we up to?
Ilona. There you go.
Eleanor.
No, you forget this.
What? Anyway, right, this is Eleanor Monroe. She's a 7-year-old girl, but she's really 13. She's a creative wolf. Yeah.
Very nice.
She's been an orphan child up to when she was 6 years old. She was adopted and has a younger stepbrother and a canary. She's French and she killed her stepbrother. She also was obsessed with her adopted dad.
Why was she obsessed with her dad?
She loved him.
Why did she love him?
She did.
Why? They must have been taken
Why
out.
did she kill her stepbrother?
She didn't like him. He kept getting all the attention.
Because that's how the film is.
She's not a very nice character then, is she?
Nice show.
You're not very nice to all characters. We're all actually really horrible.
Mine was alright, it was just a bit of a mum was quite nice.
By now you've all created your characters and you know the most that anybody has ever known about these people. But now we're going to do something completely different. Now all of you in front of you have a strip of paper. Don't turn it over yet. Okay, but if you have a look at the handout, which looks like this, is there anybody who hasn't got one? Anybody who hasn't got one, you've got them? Okay, now, you're going to be turning over the piece of paper in a minute. And on that piece of paper there will be a location around the school. What we're going to ask you to do is to go there for 10 minutes and to fill in this piece of paper. Now, the piece of paper is going to ask you to describe what you can see. Now, obviously, if I told you to come into this room and describe it, it would take you hours. Because we've got all these different people in here, we all look very different. We've got all of this different artwork on the walls, we've got the roof, we've got all the views outside, we've got lots of stuff going on. So, what I would like you to do, when you get to your chosen location, is make a window with your fingers like this. Okay? Hold it up and just describe what you can see through that.
When they get out of these sessions?
Well, ideally, I'd like them to have improved their vocabulary, certainly to a small extent. They don't realise they're improving their vocabulary, but a lot of the time when they go out and they see things, they are using vocabulary that they know, but then they come back and it'll be maybe the first time they've written those words and those kind of smells and descriptions into a piece of writing. So it's to get them to sort of expand on their writing skills, but also at the same time it's really just to fire up their imagination as well. So with the characters, you know, they've come in from the beginning of the session not knowing anything. By the end of the session they've come away and they know everything about their characters. They've decided where they live, some of them know how they're going to die, some of them find out they've turned into zombies, some of them explode, a lot of them find love, you know, but they know everything about it. And also because we want them to have fun. It's really, I think it's really important that these days, when you're working in schools like Hassenbrook, they're great at doing this kind of thing, but it's important for kids to get engaged and to have fun.
A 10-minute session. The idea of just capturing a small space and then coming up. Where did you get that idea from, and where's that as part of this day?
Well, that idea is just something that I do myself. It's my own practice, which I've kind of developed. I did an MA in creative writing at City, and for some of the exercises we had to go out and we had to write down everything that I've been talking to them about today, and then we had to come back and also start using it to plot scenes and things. And I just felt that it's quite overwhelming to tell somebody to go out and describe what they see, because we can see so much. So to actually bring it down to an artist's kind of frame point like that, looking through the window, they are framing it for a start, so they have a finite amount of or finite image to have to take in. But I think if you look at something very carefully, then you see so much more than you do if you're looking at something not very carefully. So it's kind of about looking at that, looking at something very specific and getting as much information as you can, putting it into your work, because it's the job of the writer to, when you're writing, you need to convey as much as you can to the reader about the scene that is in your imagination. So it's about doing that. And create a scene in a story where you can use all the description that you've just got to put into your scene, okay? So, for instance, Natalie, where did Natalie go? Natalie Brown?
Yeah.
Natalie Brown, where does she live?
I don't know.
Who lives in, I don't know, Idaho, is that?
Yeah.
Has to go to a netball court where she can see a man with a white jumper, grey hair, in jogging bottoms. He's picking up rubbish. She can hear the call of birds, a dog barking somewhere in the distance. There's a slight breeze, and the sound of cars in the distance. And then, suddenly, she's, okay, maybe this is her first day at school. So Hindi, where is she exactly? She's in a corridor.
Yeah.
So Hindi's in a corridor. What can she see? Okay, and how does she feel? Because it's her first day. And how old is she? So it's quite late for her to be starting. But then where is it? In India. Okay, which might be fine. So what does she? There must be unusual smells to her then. What does she smell? Chemicals. Has she smelt those before? No, because what's her house like? So how does she feel about all of these new smells and new sounds? Okay. Is her mum with her?
As he placed himself underneath the branch figure that was a tree, he could see through his metaphoric window green grass waving to him in the wind. I could see the faint lines of the throwing pitch, the colour of talcum powder. He could see no one. It was peaceful except the moderate sounds of the rushing cars in the rush hour traffic, the rush of British Airways 777s in the crammed airspace above us. The background noise was the creaking of the door like a haunted house floorboards. He could smell the strong smell of grass that had been trampled by the rushing bustle brake, and then just then he wondered what a afterlife was like, but he could not see the death creeping up behind him.
Ooh, fantastic!